Just a reminder, if you woke up today, it's because we need you exactly who you are. You can go better, you can level up, you can be a better person. But if you woke up today, the world needs you just like you are. And it does. These human body gives us a case why it sucks. And it's really interesting in the psychology because I was just looking at Glenn Lundy. He's launching a book and he's amazing. For I think 5 or 6 years, every day, Monday to Friday at 5:30 in the morning, he comes up and does this show. And this show has saved me. And it has saved a lot of people. But in today's show, he was talking about someone who gave up and chose to be an angel, which fucking sucks. And it's really interesting that our brain works. And our brain wants to support us and to help us. And it's this balance of saying that we're not good enough and to know that's not true. And Glenn, and the funny part is Glenn is talking about like why the heck he's doing everything right. He's helping people. He's following all the rules. He's doing all this stuff, and he can't pay himself this month. Him and his wife can't pay this month, and you hear this a lot in businesses, and tons of people that do this that have these big, successful, big businesses, and they chose to pay all their employees instead of themselves. And it's funny because the employees will be like, oh, look how much money they're making, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, and they have no clue that the boss isn't getting made, isn't making paid. And with businesses, the thing that I've noticed is that when you're really small, you make the best money. There's like 2 points where you're really small and you're just starting it up. That is when you make good money. And then growing into a big business where all the systems are down, everything's set up, and you audit and you looked at your money and you have a budget and you follow it, then they make good money. But often in between, from going small into big, that's where most businesses grow and break apart because there's 2 parts of the psychology of our brain. When something's changed, our brain freaks out and says, it makes a case. It makes a case that this is stupid or it's not going to work or blah, blah, blah. And that is a normal human thing for our brain to tell us that we're not good enough and to stop us from doing that uncomfortable things. But the thing is, when you're doing things that no one else has done and you're trying to do it alone, that's when it doesn't work. We're meant to be a community. We're meant to connect it with people and to figure it out. Like, is this just the lean part? Is this the part where we're not paying ourselves, but we're investing on the future and believing that it will go forward? Or because there's a difference between making money and saving money and spending money, like there's a different thing. And a lot of entrepreneurs do that. They make tons of money, but they're not so good at saving and keeping it. And those are completely different skills that you need to get to run a business because businesses are high and low. There's times where there's tons of money that goes really fast, and then there's really lean times where you're not making as much money. And it's definitely that part of the world right now where things are changing, big things are changing, and we need to innovate and look at them. So one of the things that I'm talking about looking at your budget and auditing, like take a look at your money. My math that I basically thing is that I live on 40% and I save 60%. Right now, I'm not have money coming in and I'm limiting yourself. I'm playing small, I'm hiding. And that is one of those patterns that I see with myself is that when I'm sad or worried, I hide. And when you're a light, when you're meant to be here to sign up the world, you're going to get signs like this when someone you know is an angel now. I don't know her that well, but it's enough to remind us to stop hiding, Melanie. And also this voice to me of knowing that what's going on with my kid is not okay. All of these little things like that alarm when I wanted to say something, it's like, okay, is that the universe saying not to say it? Which it is. So whenever I get any signs, you get to decide what they mean. And again, I'm reminding of this, put on your grown-up underwear and do hard things. I really want to put a little doodle. Okay. Do you know what this is? Or is it better for it to be, which is like, is that better? Is that better hard? I don't know. It's like, that's not proper. A lady would not draw that on the things that I was like, hard. This, uh, that's one of the things when you brain damage. My brain is in this point where my brain is realizing that words. So I had 5 words and I had to learn it all back. After a stroke, everything disappeared. And to learn it all back. And I'm at that point of my brain realizing that words mean different things. And for one reason, for some things, like those words that have a little like sexy meaning are hilarious to me. And I'm like, I'm 44. Like, nope, they're funny. It's this interesting the way world is. I really wanted to talk about the other thing that I was coming this morning when I woke up is that we believe we want different things. Like I remember one of my friends, he wasn't sure if he wants a family or not. And I was like, okay, well that like you want to value, like yeah, makes sense. But at the same time as a knowing person, you you want certain things and it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have it. Like just because you decide you want a family doesn't mean you get the family that you think. And it's always that expectation that you're looking for. Like he doesn't know if he wants a family or not. And I was like, okay, you can choose, but you don't get to choose that. Like the day that I gave birth, like it took us 6 months to get pregnant and then 9 months getting pregnant, and then I just gave birth. So the day that I give birth in my bed, I got a phone call. And the salesperson wanted to sell me something. And I was like, dude, I just gave birth. I'm not in the point. Like, call me like, I don't know, a week or a month. I don't know. I just gave birth like an hour ago. I just gave birth. And this guy tells me how he told me that him and his wife tried 9 years. They've tried to get pregnant for 9 years. And I'm thinking, like, that sucks. I'm so sorry. And for someone to share that information, they just phoned me to sell me something and then told me that they're tried for 9 years. They've done everything right. They told me all the things that they've done and they're still trying. And you make choices, but you don't necessarily get them. Like the universe wants to give you everything you wanted, but it's going to be different than it is. Like, I'm in a house right now, and the owners of it, they adopt me as one of their kids because they never had. And so hard not to tell other people's stories, right? So here you have these amazing people like my Uncle Gerard and Leanne, who are amazing parents, so amazing, but they were never to have a kid. And the world showed them up with different challenges that you would never think would happen. So life is not fair, and it's abundant, and it's beautiful, and you get to choose. I can look how my heart hurts, and all these big things that are happening right now with my kid and my ex parent alienating. 20% of divorces do this to you. My kid, we have a beautiful boundary, bond. And in one of the books, like this moment where, yeah, in this book, so I take parenting course. So when the moment that we separated, I took a co-parenting course. And I re-watched it about 10 or 15 times. And I read every book that they recommended, every problem solve. I did all these things. And in this book, explaining what's going on, because it's like, my kid hates me and it makes no sense. We're completely bonded. I'm a great parent. I take parenting courses every year. I want to be a really good mom, and in no way is anyone's perfect. I make mistakes, but the thing that I know is that my mom always loved me. Imperfect, makes mistakes, but she always loved me. And seeing the pattern of what's going on is that just waking up is not enough. You're here for a reason. You're here to make the world a better place. Every person is needed, and to be using the thing that you meant to do. Share your gifts to people that value you. It's definitely this energy here of this. All right. Feeling like it's time for me to take off today. And the 11th each month we'll do the other event. Although, in this journey of bringing in money, calling them in. All right. I send you love, send you good vibes. Leave some comments below and check out Glenn Lundy's book. I'll put a link. I will find a link for a place that you can buy it because he's selling so many of them. He's breaking the system. And there's partly he's like, oh, Glenn, I'm so sorry that you're launching and being your first top. He's like the top seller. Like, he's the top seller of this book. And he's like, oh, he's having all these problems, all these things. It's like, that's because you're changing the world. When there's problems are coming up and you're changing the world, dude, you're doing good things. You are doing good things and you're getting these exercises, and you are getting these muscles, these huge muscles to make forward in the future. So like, oh, poor Glenn, you're a top bookseller. Oh, and you had problems. Poor guy. And I say with so much love because, like, I think of him like a brother. So, brothers, I'm the old of three. So you make fun of each other. That's what we do. He's not really my brother. He's a 6-foot black man. He has completely different parents. He's come from a different country. But, you know, you know. Okay. Have a good day. And if you woke up today, it's because we need you. Just like you. Not like anyone else. Just like you. Mwah! Have a wonderful day and keep going. The less you do,